Hi, this is Genesis, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so I just did a video reporting what Virgil Ortiz Jr. said in response to him turning down the Ennis fight. After Eddie Hearn said he reached out to Ortiz's team and they said that they weren't ready, Jaron is planning on returning to the ring in September. But when Virgil's team said they weren't ready, Eddie said, then we will wait till September for you guys. This is when Ortiz Sr. came out and responded by basically saying that they moved on. Sr. said, quote, "They had fight with us, took it, then backed out and denied it. They turned down record pay. Now they wait in line like everyone else." So he's basically admitting that they want to fight against Ortiz, but they have to wait. So then Virgil Ortiz Jr., he came out and pretty much contradicted what his father said. Jr., he put up this post and he said, "Just so y'all know, apparently healing from hand injury is now a form of ducking. Anything to fit the narrative." So his father is saying that Boots has to wait in line. And now you have Jr. saying he just has a hand injury. Well, I just found out from somebody in my comment section from the video that I just did that Robert Garcia just did an interview with YSM Sports Media, and it turns out he's saying something completely different than Virgil Ortiz Sr. and Jr. Now listen, in my very last video, I said that it's possible that Virgil Ortiz, maybe he does have an injury and that's why he couldn't take the fight. But what I said is, if we don't see Virgil Ortiz fight till like the end of the year, like November, December, or even next year, then that means he most likely is recovering from an injury. But if Virgil Ortiz fights in September or even October, then that means everything he said was cap. Because that means he would have been available to fight against Ennis. This is what I said in the last video. Well, it turns out Robert Garcia, he just said in this interview that Virgil Ortiz's hand is doing well and he plans on coming back fighting in September. But then Robert, he also said that he heard from a very reliable source that Ennis said that he wasn't ready for Virgil Ortiz and needed 2 tune-up bouts before he fought Ortiz. So let me go ahead and set this up before I play the clip. So Robert Garcia is watching a Ennis interview, right? And by the way, once again, I got to give credit to the person in my comment section because I didn't even know that Ennis did a recent interview. I thought Eddie was the only one talking for him and Boots was ghost mode. So I find out that not only did Robert Garcia have something to say, but so did Boots. So I'm going to play the clip that Robert Garcia is actually watching.
You wanted that fight at 47, right?
Like what else, like 4 or 5 years ago? It was like, yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago.
People been talking about that fight for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Not to cut you off, but I think his trainer Robert Garcia, Garcia, they had said something not a long time, but when we was both at 47, he was like, "Oh no, we not worrying about that kid Jerome right now. We're not ready right now. Maybe in another 5 years or." We're here now, so it's that time. It's gonna happen for sure.
Okay, so that's the clip right there that Robert Garcia is watching. Ennis, he says, like 4 or 5 years ago, that it was Robert Garcia who said, we're not going to be ready for that kid for another 4 or 5 years. This was Robert Garcia's reaction.
We're not worried about that kid right now. We're not ready right now. Maybe in another 5 years. We're here now, so it's that time. It's gonna happen for sure.
You said that? I don't even remember when the f was that. ¿Qué dijo? He said that you said 5 years ago that around a little bit, sometime back, that you guys need about 4 to 5 years to make that fight happen between him and Virgil, and that 4 or 5 years que ya pasó, that's already gone through.
Oh, so right now is the perfect time.
Yeah, right now is the perfect time. Is kind of what he's saying.
Look, I'll tell you right now, because this is for sure. Yesterday, I was told by very, ¿cómo se llama eso? Como like a real
Reliable sources?
100% that now that he's moving up, right away they invited him for the fight against Virgil for September, and he said he needs 2 tune-up fights at 54 before he fights Virgil. So he's bullshitting.
Oh,
He's
all right.
bullshitting. He's, you know, the video, the camera, whatever. Obviously, he's gonna say that because he's a fighter and he's a bad motherfucker. You know, he's bad. He's bad. But moving up to weight, and I don't blame him either. He wants 2 fights before he fights Virgil, before he challenges Virgil, which I don't blame him in. You know, like I said, he's moving up. He's going to test his weight, test his power, everything at 154. He wants 2 fights before even mentioning Virgil.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed is when Jaron Ennis talked about them not wanting to fight him at 147 and they wouldn't be ready for 4 years, Robert Garcia, he really didn't deny that. And now he's saying that Jaron Ennis needs not 1, but 2 tune-up fights before he fights against Virgil Ortiz? It doesn't make sense. And what also makes no sense is Virgil Ortiz Sr., Jr., and Robert Garcia, they're all saying something completely different, right? You got Senior who says that they've moved on and Boots needs to wait in line, you know, as if they have a title or something like that, right? And then you have Robert Garcia who says, well, I heard that Jaron Ennis, he said he needs 2 tune-up bouts. He's not ready. And then you got Junior who says, you know, he's got a hand injury. But Robert Garcia, he says the hand is well now and he's coming back to the ring in September, around the time that Jaron Ennis is going to be fighting. And Eddie Hearn said they wanted the fight now. They were ready for the fight now.
Speaking of Virgil kind of tweeted out something out with his hand surgery and everything. How's that going? How's that
It's
looking?
good now. He's back in the gym training. He'll be back in camp pretty soon. Planning on something for September. Nothing official yet. Nothing. But September will be the date for him. You know, the month where we think he'll be more than ready.
Somebody lying their ass off. That's all I can say. But the interview that Boots did with YSM Sports Media, he asked Boots about the Virgil Ortiz fight, and he talked about Eddie Hearn saying that they wanted the fight, and now Virgil Ortiz, he's injured. But the way this guy asked Boots the question, it was really vague, and I really wish he would have went into more detail so we could have got more answers.
154. So your promoter Eddie Hearn said that y'all reached out for a possible fight in August, and Virgil said that he wouldn't be available. I think he might be coming off of an injury or something like that. But is that a fight that can be made in the future?
Most definitely. That's the fight definitely can happen. You know, that's the fight everybody want to see. You know, I'm at 54 now, so it gotta happen. It gotta happen. That's the fight that everybody want to see. It gotta happen. That fight gonna make a lot of money. We're gonna sell out no matter where it's at. Everybody want to see it. So I definitely think that fight definitely gonna happen for sure.
Now, you see, if I was asking that question about Virgil Ortiz, I would have asked Boots, when did they say they would be ready? He's talking about his hand injury. Did they tell you when they would be ready? Did they say October? Did they say September? Or how long would you be willing to wait for Virgil Ortiz to recover? Would you wait until September or October to make the fight? If the fight doesn't happen in September, when do you want the fight? How soon do you want that fight? I mean, when you ask Boots if that's a fight that can be made in the future, shit, the future can be 2-3 years from now. You got to be a little bit more specific when you ask a question like that. But now that Robert Garcia is saying that Jaron is full of it, he lying, and he want a whole bunch of tune-up bouts, now you got more questions to ask Boots. And these would be good questions for Eddie Hearn as well. I got to say, I don't think Eddie Hearn would lie. When Eddie Hearn says, we want that fight, we reached out to them, and we want that fight now, I don't think Eddie Hearn would lie about something like that. Now, don't get me wrong. It definitely makes sense for a lot of fighters to have a soft touch when they're moving up in weight. But when it comes to the special fighters, they don't do that. We know when Terrence Crawford moved up to 154, he went after the best. Remember, originally his plan was to beat Errol Spence and then beat Jamel Charlo, right? Since Jamel Charlo is now on a hiatus, he went after the other top guys there. Now, I don't know if Jaron Ennis is built like that, but according to the way he's talking right now, he sounds like he's ready for all the smoke. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, we're going to find out a lot more when We're going to find out a lot more when Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz announces their next fight.
Sure.
Let's see how it all plays out, and let's see who they fight. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.